As many of you don't know me, that's because this is my first year at Queen Creek. My name is Ellie Martin. I'm a senior, and for my senior project, I wanted to make something a little different. It was very stressful trying to think of, like, dang, how can I try to compress 4 years of hard work into one performance? So then I thought about it, and I was like, why do I have to pick one? We're just going to put it all in the same place. Because I did not work my butt off for nothing. So, this is my digital portfolio. I will be using it to submit for colleges, jobs, things like that, but also just to share my story because everyone deserves to be heard. Woo! So, this is my opening page. This is a picture of me from my sophomore year. I was doing Susical. Whoever hates on Susical, I don't want to hear it. It's a great show. Going into first, theater's influence on me as a person. Theater has become a safe space for me where I can fully be myself without fear or judgment. When I'm on stage or in rehearsals, I feel understood and accepted even when I struggle to express my own emotions in everyday life. It gives me an outlet to release my feelings through movement, voice, and character, allowing me to say things I might otherwise not have the courage to say. Theater has helped me step out of my comfort zone and find confidence in my own voice. Each performance reminding me that I deserve to be seen and I deserve to be heard, and that confidence has stayed with me beyond the stage but how I carry myself every day. As an experience, theater has encouraged me to grow through other lenses as well as emotionally, mentally, and physically. It has also trained me to become more confident, considerate, and fearless regardless of what others have to say. Below is a short trailer coming soon that is important to me, and it shows all of my hard work that I've put into this pathway all 4 years of my high school career. This will be posted in May because I graduate then, and I don't think it's fair to fully make a trailer when I know my time isn't done quite yet. And I think that it's important to read this quote because it has stuck with me, and I think it truly encapsulates what my 4 years have taught me, which is we don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race, which Robin Williams said that in Dead Poets Society. This is a picture of me. This is my headshot for pinup that I do outside of school.
Hey, Audie.
This is a Capstone baby.
Sorry.
Below you will see a list of all of the shows that I've done just in school. This does not include outside theater and outside performances. My freshman year, I did Rudolph Jr., Mamma Mia, Shelf Life, and New Beginnings in Boarding House Reach. In sophomore year, I did Susical, and Then There Were None in Guys and Dolls. My junior year, I did Failure, A True Love Story, Alice by Heart, and Footloose. Then my senior year here, I did Hauntings at Cedar Park, A Murder is Announced, Anastasia Jr., and Big Fish. Some of the awards and opportunities that I've had to have over the past couple of years, starting in June of 2025, this was my junior year, we went to the Lucille Arnaz Awards, which is a part of the National High School Musical Theater Awards, which in most cases leads to students going to the Jimmies. This is where I performed Down the Hole from Alice by Heart as the Queen of Diamonds. Unfortunately, the two people we had selected did not go to the Jimmies, but I also got to meet Elliott Smith and Kayla Ray from the Jimmies. They were incredible. Next two are from this year at Queen Creek, Arizona Thespians EFT competition, which is a regional competition where you prepare different performances and you get scored on your work. At this competition, I received 2 superiors for my duet musical and my marketing campaign, plus an excellent on my contrasting monologues. Next was state competition, which is the following level of EFT. The best of each region attends workshops and receives awards for their hard work, receiving 3 awards and performing on main stage. The 3 awards being second place overall for our tech team, superior for our Anastasia 1 act, and a main stage certification. On the bottom, I have my YouTube linked because outside of this, I like to make YouTube videos in my free time. I think it's fun to see what life is like as a theater kid behind the scenes, just not what you see on stage. Next is going to be my background. This is where I come from, why I do what I do, and where it started. This is a picture of me. I was 6 months old. This was taken in Murrieta, California, my hometown. This was my first ever pageant. I could not walk, I could not talk. My mom carried me the whole time and spun me around. And I won. I knew at a very young age who I was. According to my mom, I was dancing and singing before I could even walk or talk. The first video you could see of me performing, which I'm not going to show unless you find my mom's Facebook, don't go looking for it, is a video of me propping myself up on a coffee table dancing to the Barney theme song. I don't think that should resurface. My mom said I had a whole lot of personality and it had to be shared. I won multiple titles as a kid, even at a regional level. Unfortunately, over time, these pageants became too fake. They became full of lashes and fake nails, and my mom had to pull me. But that definitely did not stop me from being on the stage. Very soon after that, I went into a local dance company that was run by the city. It never went to anything national, but I continued to dance with the company for 12 years. 6 years of ballet, 1 year of hip-hop, 1 year of pom, 4 years of tap, 2 years of contemporary, and 5 years of jazz. You can tell which ones were my favorite. You can tell that they were my favorites, but after I left that company, I went on to do 3 years of ballet folklorico, which allowed me to explore dances through other cultures and better understand the beauty of dance. Since then, I've danced for 2 other companies that were definitely more advanced. Beyond actually being on the stage myself, seeing others perform was a large influence to me. Seeing the Nutcracker for the first time as a kid, I believe truly changed me for the better. Getting to witness so much passion and beauty on the stage made me feel something that I didn't know was possible. Leaving that performance, I knew I wanted to be on the stage and I wanted to make other people feel the same way I did. A few years after that, I got to see Wicked on Broadway at this Pantages Theater in Hollywood, in which to this day has become one of my favorite musicals. Freshman years when I had really started to get invested into the arts. I'd done it for all 3 years of middle school, and I had a fun time, but I wasn't seriously committed. My freshman year through my junior year, I spent at Moreta Valley High School in my hometown. My first show at Moreta Valley was Rudolph Jr. Although many would say this is a silly and unforgettable show, I can truly never forget it. I was still coming out of COVID, and I didn't have many friends or an idea of who I truly was. And this is why I can say with my full chest, auditioning that day was the best decision I've ever made. And from that day forward, I had a community, friends, people to look up to, and I learned my passions. This is what I knew I wanted to do forever. Now, I didn't write this down because it's personal, but I'm not afraid of telling my story. Unfortunately, I ran into some family issues at the end of my junior year where I no longer could live in Moreta, California. I was sent here to live with my mom full-time, and I knew nobody. All of my friends ghosted me. I lost all of my passion, all of my projects pretty much, and I didn't know what I was going to do. So then, as I was looking for schools, it was the Sunday before school started, and school started on Monday, and I went into the Queen Creek front office on a whim, and I was talking about everything I did, and Miss Reynolds comes up to me, and she sneaks up, and she goes, "I heard you perform." And I go, "Yeah, a little bit." And then she started talking with my mom because I wasn't going to talk to an adult. That's scary. And Miss Reynolds said, "Well, I really think you would like it here. We do choir, we have theater, we go to regional competitions. We're a big deal here." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, you're right, girl." And so I still wasn't set on any school. I started to think that I might just do online school. And that's when she said, "Well, we have a new director this year. I think you'd really like him. Let me see if I can go get him." Keep talking to the lady, and I'm about to leave when Smith comes around the corner, and he starts telling me about all of the awesome things this program had to offer. They keep talking, my parents keep talking, and I'm just listening. I'm just there to observe. At the time, I didn't know what shows we were doing. I just hoped that they were good, because some of the other schools I was looking at, I just wasn't very interested. And as we were actually going to leave, Mr. Smith and Reynolds went up to the front lady and said, "Yeah, just put her in chorale in Theater 4 now." And these people don't know me. They don't know what my talent is. I could have not been the greatest, but they believed in me, and I truly think that has something to say. Woo! Also, my first day of school was a train wreck. I came in late. People were extremely rude. I ate lunch by myself. But then, during 7th period, which was Theater 4, I walked in the door, and the first person who greeted me was Kylie Mills, which is now become one of my best friends. And she looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Oh my God, you're so pretty. I'm so happy that I have class with you. You're new. Wow, you're gorgeous. I will be friends with you before anybody else can." So I did not pick theater. Theater picked me. After that is when I met people like Eden Urbina and Sophia Mathez and Eris Marler and a ton of other people like Kayla and Maya and Morgan who just performed earlier. And I've learned to look up to these people because I would not be here without them. I would not have performed. I would not have done AMIA. I would not have done state. Moving on to that, theater has not only blessed me with growing up as a person, but has given me some of the most important people in my life. This includes my best friend, Abby. I got close with Abby my freshman year, and ever since we've been inseparable. And though I don't see her every day now, Abby has not only been there for me throughout high school, but has regularly pushed me to become a better person than I thought I could even achieve. We've done pretty much everything together. We performed together, we supported each other, we helped each other to become better regardless of the circumstances. And in an industry that's as competitive as this one, this friendship regularly reminds me that you can both want the same thing and still be there for each other. In all, theater has made my pump blood and my heart thrive. In a world of cold and harsh, performing is my escape, and there's always been the light for me in the darkest of tunnels and set my clipped wings free. And it's taught me a level of hard work and understanding that no textbook could, and it given me a community worth nations. Empathy that could put hugs to shame and pride that outshines the sun. And all of this being on the stage is who I am, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I am now able to express this level of gratitude I have for this elective because in my heart and in my skin, I feel that it's not just an extracurricular, this is what I'm meant to do. Mm-hmm. Moving on to the actual me doing things. So these are links to my performances. We have one choreographed piece and 2 duets. The first one is a choreographed piece to The Killer Plus the Sound. It was during my junior year, and I choreographed a 3-minute lyrical piece to the song by Phoebe Bridgers. This piece was dedicated to my late grandparents. They are my biggest supporters, and going into my senior year, I wanted to dedicate something in their honor because they couldn't see it. Next was at EFT. I performed Stepsisters Lament with my friend, Grayson Enyart, and together we performed a show that had a range of acting and singing choices that were big and bold. This led us to getting a superior honor performance, which was the first superior and the first time I have ever performed in front of people that wasn't in a large group. Next is Man or Muppet from the Muppets 2011 movie. This is my favorite performance I've ever gotten to be a part of. At the end of my junior year, I knew I was leaving, and so the only logical option was to perform Man or Muppet with my best friend Abby. For years, this has been our special interest in our musical number that we could share together. And so as my last performance at my old school, the school of my home, I wanted to share the stage with her. And even though I know this performance isn't anything great or spectacular, and I've grown a lot as a singer or performer since then, this will forever be my favorite because it is so important to me, regardless of whether it's good or not. So I'm going to show you a small clip from that performance. This is that's me and my best friend Abby. She might be a little embarrassed. fantastic. It's nothing good, but it's important to me, and that's all that matters. Now, moving on to the gallery of pictures I have. These are some of my pictures. This is me as the Queen of Diamonds with one of my old directors. I was taking pictures, and I very quietly made a remark, and I said, "Ugh, all of my friends are getting ready. No one wants to take a picture with me." And he was walking by, and he said, "So what am I, chopped liver?" And so we stood there, and we took a picture, and now that's on their school website. This is a picture of me from my last photo shoot that I got to do. This is actually with one of the biggest pinup photographers in the country. Her name is Mitzi, and I'm also in her deck of cards collection, which is a collection of all of her favorite photo shoots throughout the year, and I was graciously selected. These are some pictures from EMEA and more from Alice by Heart, these two being my favorite shows I've ever been a part of. They're so important to me, and they hold such a big place in my heart. And I think I will never forget them, and they'll always be my favorite. Above are multiple professionally shot shows and pageantry pictures of mine within the last year, showing a range of my looks and types of performances that I have done. Some photos from Alice by Heart last spring, and A Murderers and Naps last fall, and a professional photo shoot at the end of the year. These are some of my favorites, showing my smile and my characters through themselves. I chose these photos because out of my high school career, these two have been my favorite. I also want to point out this other quote, "I will beat the odds, I can go the distance," from Hercules, because I've been told by multiple people that considering the circumstances I've been given in life, I shouldn't be able to push as hard as I do, and I still do. Next, let's move on to why are we here, which is a capstone. But what is a capstone? A capstone is connected to the Arizona State Seal of Arts, which is something performing arts students work for their entire high school career. An Arizona State Seal of the Arts Proficiency Capstone is a senior year project, student-led, that acts as a culmination of all of their arts education and demonstrates mastery of Arizona arts education standards. Over the years, I got my seal through my work through dance, choir, and theater, and it must include a public performance, presentation, or reflection in a website, which I'll talk about later on. And this will also be linked at the bottom of this page. Why is this my capstone? Let's cover why this is my capstone. While most other students have dedicated their time to doing solo performances, 24-hour plays, or other acts, instead of any of those things, I wanted to make a website that highlights all of the areas I am strong in, along with the fact that I am truly forever thankful for the community that I have. It is so important to me to share that this experience for me as a whole has been so incredibly impactful for me, and it has truly changed who I am as a person, and I will never, ever let it go. Now, let's talk about my capstone. Below will soon be a link to my capstone's reflection page. You can access this with the tab of Coming Soon, or you can look at other capstones with the Other Capstones button. Feel free to check these out. This is also a public website. You can check it out. It's elliecollections.com. And you can look at the 2026 class or some of the last classes before me or mine coming up. Lastly, I want to look at the contact page. This is the way you can contact me if you have any comments, questions, concerns. This is more for when I send this out professionally, if they want to get a hold of me or email me or anything like that. So as a whole, this has been my digital website. I think originally I had other ideas of what I wanted to perform, but I knew at the end of the day this was going to be helpful for me, not in the long run, but also allow me to talk about what I really wanted to, which was why is theater important to me and how has it affected me as a person. And that is the end of my presentation.